Welcome back to the Cool Kids channel, everybody. Talk about a hole in one, right? We are joined once again by everyone's favorite professor of bad taste, yours truly. We're joined by everyone's favorite jackass and the golf informant. So, y'all know who we are, you know how we roll, so let's get into it. Today, we will be talking about one of my most anticipated movies of the year, Happy Gilmore 2. I personally am a big Adam Sandler fan. I'm an even bigger fan of that first film. It's one of my absolute favorite comedies, one of my favorite movies, and I guess it goes without saying, my favorite Adam Sandler movie. So my expectations were sky high for this film, while totally acknowledging the track record for long delayed sequels, specifically long delayed comedy sequels, because woof, we've had some bad ones. Was this a bad one? I don't think so. I thought this was a lot of fun. While there's a lot of issues, I think that this was a more than worthy sequel, while not without its flaws. So we will then pass it on to to Rob for his thoughts.
What on the first one?
Yeah, thoughts on the first film and expectations for the
Okay,
sequel.
okay. So the first one, I honestly find the first Happy Gilmore to be hilarious. I would say that along with the Wedding Singer are like two of my top Adam Sandler comedies. Now, I will say that I'm not necessarily a big Adam Sandler comedy fan. Like, yes, I know. But anyway, I'm not really a big Adam Sandler comedy fan.
Yes.
But I will say that the first Happy Gilmore is one of the rare exceptions. It is one of the rare exceptions for me. Um, in fact, I remember watching it like maybe like a week or two ago with Renee, and I still think it's pretty funny. The expectations for sequel. Um, I mean, I really wasn't. I was hoping that this would at least, I mean, seeing how much I really like the first one, I kind of was hoping that this, while not recapture the magic, at least be like maybe have some funny moments here and there. And I mean, I know that comedy sequels that were like years after the first one, I know it's super rare that they're ever even good at all. But I was at least trying to remain optimistic. So, but I'll explain my thoughts on the second one later.
John? Oh,
You
I think you're muted.
Yep,
you're
yep, yep,
muted.
yep. I got it. So outside of the first Happy Gilmore movie, I'm not really a big comedy Adam Sandler comedy fan. I like the first Happy Gilmore. It's one of those movies I haven't watched in like one sitting. Like I remember when it was on TV a lot, so I would like watch like 30 minutes here and then like on another day watch like 10 minutes here and like that kind of thing. I've essentially seen the whole movie, just not in like one sitting. And I like it. I honestly think it's a very good movie. I think it's very funny and I think it works. Expectations for this, I saw the trailers and it looked pretty good. It looked relatively harmless, maybe like kind of stupid, but like, what's an Adam Sandler comedy that's not, stupid. But I'm not really a big Adam Sandler comedy fan, as I said. So I was like, it could be good, but like I'm open to seeing it. I don't have to go to a theater to see it, so that's definitely a big plus. So I was like, yeah, sure. It looks like fun. Looks like it could be a lot of fun, and yeah.
All right. The story. As I said earlier, this was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. And flaws aside, I had a lot of fun with this. Aside from a rough opening with showing how his wife got killed and a gag similar to the opening of the first film, and then he is down on his luck, loses his grandmother's house again, like that kind of that kind of had me worried a little bit, but as the film went on, it was starting to win me over. I liked the overall story with the extreme golf compared to regular golf, and I thought it was kind of cool commentary because that's kind of how they're trying to show sports nowadays, at least professional sports. I mean, bigger and bolder, more cool, hip, playing to the kids. How do you do, fellow kids? So I thought it was, while not every joke worked, we'll get into that with the humor. I thought overall it was pretty well executed. The acting from everyone I thought was really good. Adam Sandler, of course, steals the show. I was very surprised with where they went with Shooter McGavin's character, with the whole setup. Oh, he's in the insane asylum, and then he gets brought out. You figure, oh, that it's going to be a predictable setup. He plays for the opposite golf team again with the extreme people to play against Gilmore for revenge and all that. But I liked where they went with it. Like I like the writing for Shooter in this movie. Like he's an asshole, but at the end of the day, he respects the sport, and I like that he didn't sell out just to get one up on Gilmore, if that makes sense. So yeah, overall, that's my general thoughts on the story.
Okay, so in terms of the story for me, this is honestly, I feel like this is the kind of the story that we've kind of seen like a lot of times. Yes, I know it's a comedy, and pretty much the story isn't necessarily made focus on comedies like these, especially in Happy Madison comedies. But I mean, we'll get to that when we explain the humor. But anyway, I felt like this is just kind of the same kind of, a lot of story was just, it felt very by the numbers, because we got the whole um, winner comes out on top from the first one, and then years go by, and then he's in a depressed state where he becomes an alcoholic kind of thing. It's just like this is the kind of thing we've seen before, even to the point where his wife died. I'm gonna be honest with you. That scene honestly reminds me of another bad comedy sequel that came out years after the original with Zoolander 2, where the love interest, he gets together with the love interest in the first film, and then by the second film they kill that love interest off. I just felt like that kind of thing was just, it's just, this is kind of stuff that we've seen before. I like I said, I get that this is a comedy and the story is not necessarily the main focus. Like I said, we'll get to that soon. But I felt like it was just very predictable. It didn't really add anything new to it. And I just remember parts of it getting a little bored, but then it's just me. So
So for me, the story again, I don't know what it is about certain movies where the predictability bothers me, but other times where the predictability doesn't. Maybe it's because, again, going into this, I'm like, okay, it's going to be a stupid Adam Sandler comedy movie. I'm not expecting a whole lot. So I think it's because of that. I didn't mind the predictable story. And sometimes, I think sometimes it works, where like Snack Shack was another one where it's like it does a lot of predictable things, but it makes up for it with the characters and their arcs and that kind of thing. And ironically, the main kid from that movie was one of Adam Sandler's sons in this movie. So little fun fact there. But I think with this one, I think the predictability felt weirdly like, this is gonna sound weird, but like stay with me. It was like almost like comforting in a way, where it's like it reminded you of a like a better time. Like it harkened back to the 90s. Most of us were either kids or we watched this movie when we were younger, and it reminded us of like a nicer, more predictable time where we were like, we didn't have to worry about anything, we didn't have to deal with anything, we didn't have to deal with the shit we're going through right now. So it's like it felt like, okay, I know where this is gonna go, and you know what? I'm gonna enjoy the ride. I know that like, and we'll get into spoilers either now or later, but
Yep,
we know where
spoilers
this is headed.
now.
Okay, so like we know that fucking Happy is gonna win everything. We know he's gonna have some like wrongs here and there, and kind of like Dark Night of the Soul and that kind of thing. But we know that Happy's gonna win it in the end. But honestly, I don't mind that. And I think like certain aspects of the story that they do kind of throw in there, like having his kids was nice, even though they're all dumb lugs. But I like the chick who played his daughter. We'll get into that later, but I think the way they worked that was good, and I liked how the story flowed and how all of that like kind of flowed together. Unlike another fucking certain movie that came out recently where fucking the structure was terrible, but I think this one had a nice flow to it. It was paced pretty well. It did get slow at some points. I don't think it should have been 2 hours. I think maybe you should have like maybe cut a couple minutes, make it a little bit better. But like maybe cut like 5 minutes. To be fair, this is like it says a 2 hour running time, but the credits are 10 minutes fucking long. So it's only like an
Yeah,
hour and
whereas
45 minutes. I
yeah,
would
like
say cut
the
it
end
down to like
credits
100
for
minutes.
the original were only like 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, so I would say cut it down like maybe 5-ish minutes, just give it a little
Yeah.
bit better pacing. But I think overall the story was fine. Like, oh, he feels like a failure. He doesn't want to, he wants to be there for his kids. He doesn't want them to be there for him and like limp him through life as being like this kind of loser. But at the same time, there was the idea of like, oh, he wants to be better for himself and better for all these other people around him. And then I liked the ongoing running gags and stuff, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, overall, I think the story, yeah, it's predictable. Yeah, it's not the greatest thing ever, but I wasn't expecting greatness. I expected a good time, and the story was predictable, but it felt good in like a comforting kind of way.
All right. So another section I wanted to get into this, in this case, since this is a comedy, let's talk about the humor. Um, and I gotta say, whereas my biggest negative story-wise was with the opening, with how rough it was to start, my other biggest negative has to do with the humor. Not all the humor, for the most part, there were some good jokes, and as hell, the whole running gag of any little object that Happy has being something he drinks out of. I actually thought that was really funny.
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
But my biggest negative with this is the use of nostalgia. Not just the general use of nostalgia, but certain segues into it. Both with how they verbally say, "Oh, remember this from what happened in the first film," and then on top of that, they have to play a clip from the film every single time. Every now and then, depending on which part it was or what the context was, I think it could have worked, but every single time I was like, yeah, we get it. We've seen the first one. We love the first one." So that was pretty much it for me. And pretty much the only jokes that made me cringe, not that everyone made me cringe, but it was mostly the more trying to be hip to the kids kind of joke, like at the beginning where what's her name, Margaret Qualley and her little group are out there golfing with Happy, and they're doing those little dances every time they get a cool shot. And I was like, yeah, that for me. But other than that, like I said, the one running gag they had was pretty funny. Shooter himself, I think, was hilarious. Outside of how I think they very nicely subverted expectations with his character, I thought most of his jokes landed also. And yeah, that's how I am with the humor.
Okay. You sure you want me to go next? Because let's just say that this is where I'm probably going to be my most negative. So anyway, look, I understand for Happy Madison comedies, Adam Sandler comedies, you have to pretty much go in expecting a lot of traits. The thing is that these kinds of traits aren't necessarily for me. I don't find them funny, with it all is here, it's all here, from the pointless cameos that don't even need to be there. I honestly found the whole, like, I'll be honest with you, I honestly thought that the fact that Happy was drinking everything from a flask, I felt like that was it was running the joke. Like, I mean, I get humor, comedy subjective and all, I get that, but I felt like it was trying to be, I didn't really laugh at that part, and And even then, it felt like it was just getting worse because they kept hammering it in over and over and over. And it was just kind of frustrating, you know? Honestly, the only ever time I ever got any kind of laughs was anything with Christopher McDonald, because he did seem like he was acting so over the top, and he did have a few laughs here and there, but it's like, other than that, it's just like a lot of Happy Madison comedies. Maybe you might find it funny. If that is, I'm sure that you'll enjoy it a little bit. You'll enjoy this movie more, but I just really didn't find this movie funny, you know. And a lot of it was not just the cameos, it was a lot of the callbacks that really annoyed me. I think that was what was frustrating to me, because how many times are we going to repeat the same jokes from the first one? If I wanted to watch the first one, I put on the first one. You know, how many times are we going to have these kinds of callbacks, you know, like where Shooter McGavin and Happy are fighting in the grave, and you see Bob Barker's tombstone, and then you see a hand right up there, you know? It's like, how many times are we going to have these kinds of callbacks? Or when the jackass guy pretty much was, you see his tombstone, you know, or the fact that his son is fed to the crocodiles, and then you see the TV censoring of him swearing while there, you know? I mean, it's like, these are just, it's not that, because the thing is the fact that in the first one, we didn't actually expect a lot of it, but it seems like people who are familiar, who are going to see this, pretty much already know about all these jokes. And I felt like a lot of these jokes just pretty much, it's just stuff we've seen before. It's like, can we just get something else other than these annoying cameos and these annoying callbacks to the first one? So it's just kind of frustrating for me. I guess that was what ruined it for me. So it's just that it was why I never found this movie very funny, you know, or especially
Yeah,
as
I'll give you that.
you
Yeah,
know.
like I said,
So
that was my biggest issue also. Or one of them anyway.
yeah, but and even then, I forgot to mention this when I was talking about the story. The story repeats way too much of the points from the first one too. So we could probably explain that when we get to the ending. So yeah.
For me, the humor, I think, honestly, there were, I will say there is a lot of cringy humor. I agree with Zach on this, that a lot of the cringy humor, like with like, how do you do, fellow kids, came off as like really dumb. Plus, it has like a lot of like dumb, like toilet humor, like Steve Buscemi pissing in mailboxes. I'm like, all right, that's not that funny. But there were plenty of moments that made me like smile and laugh out loud. Like, I don't know why, but the biggest laugh for me is when Happy, I think, tries to hit the ball and then the club flies and it hits like a Coke vending machine. I'm like, I don't know why, but that made me laugh really hard. Um and then there were a lot of moments that did really make me laugh like out loud too. I was like, oh my god, this is so dumb, but I can't help but like enjoy the heart and charm of it all. Very silly, but very fun in a way. And I just a lot of the humor I really did like. um and a lot of the Adam Sandler rage or drunken stuff was pretty funny. Some of the stuff with John Daly was cringy, but some of it was also pretty funny. Um, then Shooter McGavin, I will say Christopher McDonald is, he slips into this back like a glove. And I like how, he kind of weirdly redeemed himself in a way. But I liked, I also liked how um there was a lot of like I will agree that like some of playing Ben Stiller saying like you're in my world now. It's like, okay, that wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
Um
like, but we don't need the clips from the first
yeah, we're
film.
not that. I mean, I
Yeah,
understand most Adam Sandler fans are that dumb, but like we still don't need them
we
there.
don't need that. Yeah,
Um
because
Yeah, but I still was like it's not I'm not gonna act like it's the funniest movie ever, but it's like a lot of the I will say a lot of the jokes made me laugh. Not every single I would say like maybe like 60%, maybe 70% of the jokes made me laugh. I will say the unnecessary cameos were a bit much after a while. Like I don't mind the ones where it was like okay, maybe returning character here and there, like, maybe Ben Stiller was fine, or Shooter McGavin and all that.
Yeah.
But then we get to like, oh hey, my dad knew you, my dad, like I get it. I feel like it was almost satirical at some point with
And they and
like
they
making fun of like the whole legacy sequel thing.
yeah.
I feel like it was because it was just so ridiculous, and I'm like, all right, we got the Jonas Stamos. I forget what his name is. The guy who plays Chewbacca now in the Star Wars movies, the really tall blonde guy. He played Richard Keel's son.
Or John Lovitz was in there for like
John Lovitz, yeah, I mean, I like John
yeah.
Lovitz, so that wasn't too much of a bother. But you have like Eminem playing Jackass, his son, like that. Why? And then like Kid Cudi was in it for some reason, which I will say, Kid Cudi is not half bad of an actor. So like, I didn't mind that, but I'm like, why are you here? Um, Kevin Nealon being in it, and a lot of these, like I can't even like. I will say Benny Safdie as the villain was pretty funny, like because he was him being the director of Uncut Gems, which like gave like Adam Sandler some kind of weird renaissance, and he's like the villain. I thought that was funny. Haley Joel Osment was like, why are you here? But I think he did a fine job as like kind of a villainous character. But yeah, the unnecessary cameos, some of them landed, but most of them didn't, and I felt it was kind of dumb. And then the clips were a bit ridiculous, but most of the humor I think made me laugh. And you know what? That's what a comedy should do. If it makes you laugh and you're entertained by it, then cool, awesome. And that's what this movie did.
Yep. All right. So final thoughts. Aside from a rough start with the opening and an overuse of nostalgia and cameos, I had a fun time with this. I think where it counted most, it captured some of the magic of the original, and it was overall a fun, worthy sequel that, while not as good, was still enjoyable on its in its own right. So I'll go 7.5 out of 10.
All right. I was gonna say we already did that. Anyway, overall, honestly, I feel like this is a movie that is honestly not for me. If you're a big Happy Madison, Adam Sandler kind of comedy kind of guy, if the humor really gets you, then this would be up your alley. Maybe you'll like it. I don't know. That's just not me. Like I said, I'm not really much of a fan. I really didn't have high expectations. I mean, I mainly agreed to do this for Zach, so Um, anyway, this really didn't do anything for me. Like I said, the only redeeming thing that I could say is like Christopher McDonald was enjoyably over the top. That's about it. So, and I mean, I guess some of the acting's okay, or the acting's okay, but it's like, but a lot of this is stuff. The story is just stuff we've seen before. It's too predictable. We know where it's going to go, and the humor was just. It was either stuff that we've seen before in the first one, whether it's clips from the first one, or the fact that we've seen or the fact that they recycled the same jokes, and the pointless cameos. I just honestly, it's just this movie I cannot did not do anything for me. So I honestly can't recommend this movie. I would only recommend it if you were a big Adam Sandler comedy fan or a big Happy Madison fan, But other than that, I can't. This didn't do anything for me. So I have to go 3 out of 10.
Cool. So for me, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I thought I thought all the acting was pretty. I thought we were going to talk about that, but I'm just going to say all the acting was pretty good for what was given. I thought they all slip into their roles, back into their roles pretty well. I was surprised how much I liked Bad Bunny as the caddy, because I don't really like his music and I don't really like his weird acting career that he's going on now. But I thought he was actually genuinely funny here, And I think most of the acting was good. I know like a lot of the kids were played by Adam Sandler's real kids, but I liked his daughter and some of his sons. I thought they were all did a reasonably good job, and I liked that. I think Huel from Breaking Bad played Chubbs's kid, and I thought that was pretty funny. Um, but
That was like probably the best cameo for me.
yeah, I liked that, and I liked seeing some of the other golfers and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty good, but yeah, I thought the acting was good, the story was good, the humor was good. It's like I'm not gonna act like it's the greatest fucking movie ever, but considering I pretty much had no expectations except for a stupid Adam Sandler comedy, that's exactly what I got, and maybe I'll leave in a little bit more with some of that charm and heart. So with that, I'm also going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I thought it was overall a good time.
Big missed opportunity though. I was legit hoping they would do this. Like I mean, it's fine because they actually had a scene at the graveyard, but they didn't do this. Like have it all emotional at first, where he's talking at Bob Barker's grave at first, but then his turns to shit talking, and then friggin' skeleton arms just boom,
I
something
think
like
that
that.
might have been too exaggerated a bit. So
I don't know. He should have fought somebody in this. Like it's a Happy Gilmore staple.
yeah,
I thought.
I mean,
um,
who else would he be fighting?
he did fight Shooter McGavin, so
Yeah,
I felt that worked. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that
I
was the
liked
biggest.
I liked how their relationship was like kind of like a Rocky 3 moment where it's like the two guys that fought each other now had to become friends to fight the bigger evil kind of thing. So I thought that was pretty good. I liked that part as well.
Yeah, I legit like that because I'm sure you all were thinking that too. Like, oh, he's because the enemy's bringing him in to play on their team, and that's how it's gonna go. He's gonna return to golf that way. But that legit surprised me.
Yeah.
Like,
I
he.
also liked seeing Eric Andre. That was pretty awesome. I love Eric
Mm.
Andre. I thought that was pretty great. And then John Farley, Chris Farley's brother, was also in it. I think he was the guy with the cross eye in the mental institution. I think that was him.
Oh shit.
oh, that was him.
I think so. It
Oh,
was either that or the guy who was like drinking at the AA meeting and he's like, that's Mr. Gilmore's coin. And then they go off after Ben Stiller beat the shit out of him.
uh,
Yeah, Ben Stiller's part was probably one of the weakest parts of the movie for me. Like, I was expecting a
and,
little bit more out of it.
and plus it kind of felt a little bit. I mean, I know that we get that Ben Stiller's character was an asshole in the first one, but it's like it honestly felt weird that he went from like the piece of shit nursing home employee to a facilitator for an AA group.
Yeah.
It just felt. I honestly, it's just I really couldn't see it at all, and it just felt kind
The
of.
payoff was hilarious though at the end.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
think that
still.
was pretty funny.
Uh,
But
I just kept thinking of of again call back to the first one, just hammering it in. So where Shooter McGavin stole the jacket. So I don't know.
yeah.
And I'll admit, like the actual like ending scene, I don't think was a good note to end the movie on. Like,
He walks off into the sunset. That's like the
mm,
most classic ending you could possibly do. So
I guess so.
and
But
then Benny Safdie gets his revenge even, or gets his comeuppance even more. That his prime. Oh, sorry, Maxi drink is actually like poisoning people. So I thought that was
hmm,
pretty good.
well, you think there's more that they could do with this, or this
What
is it?
else would they even be able to do? What else would they even be able to do
I
if they
think
ever?
he continues on, but like there's nothing else for him to do. So Yeah, just stop it here. I think we're good.
I think honestly, I think it's just time to stop it here, because the only thing I could ever think about if they ever did continue the story is maybe if one of the sons could take on golfing for him, kind of thing. But I'm just
Yeah, but
wondering
I
how.
can't see that.
But I mean, I'm just kind of
Yeah,
wondering
the
how.
opening kind of covered that. It's like they got too much attitude for it, even more attitude than their dad does.
Yeah.
Oh, you know something else I'm kind of mixed on? We didn't see enough of his short fuse in this movie.
A
I
short
think
fuse.
because he was like kind of, you know, like I think it's because like he was just so like kind of normalized. He was like he had the experience. He was older, so I feel like yeah he had some anger left in him, but it was like more like internal and all that. So I feel like there wasn't like necessary of him like because he was like an angry young guy, but he learned to channel it, and then like now yeah he had some angry beats here and there, but it was mostly like channeled into golf. He just needed to relearn that again.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well,
10 minutes of credits. Jesus Christ.
what would you guys say is your favorite Adam Sandler movie? It doesn't have to be a
Happy
comedy,
Gilmore.
but
Yeah, legit Happy Gilmore. It's always been my
if
favorite.
I had to pick three Adam Sandler comedies, I probably would say Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and Wedding Singer. So
I haven't
Mm,
seen many because I'm not a huge fan, but
I
I'd
mean that those.
say
Oh, go on.
in terms of his comedies, probably Happy Gilmore, but in terms of everything, probably Uncut Gems.
I
I
would
know he
say
didn't direct it, but like
in
Uncut
terms of
Gems was
in
excellent.
terms of my favorite Adam Sandler movie, period, I probably would have to say because Uncut Gems was great. I love that movie. I loved Funny People. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I've heard that. I've heard it's very good.
The funny thing is that despite it being a comedy and it features Adam Sandler as a comedian in that movie, it's actually more of a drama,
Yeah.
It's actually a drama. So,
yeah.
and the thing is that with Adam Sandler, when he's not doing comedies, he's a great actor,
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's not a full drama, but my favorite dramatic chops of his are in Click, honestly.
That movie
Mhm.
traumatized me as a kid, so no.
So yeah, that
I
would
think
probably be it. Like Happy Gilmore's my favorite, and then probably Billy Madison and Click. Oh, and I like Big Daddy too. That one's funny.
yeah,
It's
I think
also
that
it's
one has
also
its
kind of
moments.
sweet.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. But I think I personally think Adam Sandler's better in dramatic
I
roles,
agree. I
and
agree.
I think that's when he has his best material to work with. But I also like kind of just respect the guy in and of itself because like he's just one of the few like down to earth
Yeah.
regular dudes in Hollywood, and he somehow managed to hit it big. So I kind of like weirdly respect him for
I
that.
I do, I
Yeah.
do
Like,
too. Like even if his comedy is for the most part not for me, I could at least respect because he is considered like one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in Hollywood, which is
yeah,
honestly
next
rare
to like
because
Keanu Reeves and Paul Rudd and shit like that.
yeah,
So
like
like Adam Sandler is one of those guys you could just like sit down and have a fucking beer with.
yeah, exactly.
So I kind of I like you know what in this industry where like everyone is like a notorious asshole or a fucking rapist or pedophile. It's like yeah, it's nice to have someone that managed to hit it big, kind of like Keanu Reeves, but didn't let the fame go to their head and was just an actually decent, humble guy and like
Yeah.
stayed that way.
For real.
So I like I like I can never fully hate Adam Sandler. Yeah, I don't like his movies all that much, his comedy movies all that much, but like he seems like a genuinely good dude. So I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, I
Yeah.
can't hate that.
You know what? One I won't say it's like a good movie, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love Eight Crazy Nights.
Mm.
I never
I'm
saw it.
sorry.
Now what would you guys say was the worst Adam Sandler comedy?
Oh, Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill.
Easily. Easily.
Although my brother,
I haven't seen many.
although my brother Ben, he thinks that what's that movie? That's My Boy is even worse. So
I think the only I haven't seen many, so I would say Click is probably his worst, but I haven't seen many. I've seen Happy Gilmore, Click, Uncut Gems, and maybe one or two others, but I have not seen many.
I
So
on it, yeah, there was like Jack and Jill was terrible.
Al
Not real.
Pacino.
Yeah. Another. Oh my God, there was actually one Adam Sandler comedy
Oh,
that I
Little
remember.
Nicky, that one's terrible too.
Oh, no, I was going to bring that up because honestly enough, that was actually I remember seeing that in theaters in middle school, and I remember thinking that was funny. I don't know why,
Incest is fucked up.
because honestly, it's like I don't know what like. I had shit taste on when
I liked
in
Home
middle
Alone
school.
3 as a kid. You're fine.
Okay,
I still like Home Alone 3. What are you talking about?
I just like the pranking, the home invasion part is still the only good part of the movie, like with most
and even
Home
then,
Alone movies.
I think
it's way
the
too
main kid in
ridiculous.
it is charming at least. Like he holds his own.
I was gonna say, I'm sure you would prefer Home Alone 3 over Home Sweet Home Alone.
Mm, I think Home Alone 4 is worse than even that.
Wow. But yeah, honestly I'm embarrassed to even say that I remember liking Little Nicky when I first saw it. So
That's one of those movies I couldn't even finish. But I'm gonna show you all this, because honestly, one of the best parts of the movie isn't even actually from the movie, but I love the marketing for this movie. I love that Subway actually got in on it because of how much they were in the first film. So I wouldn't got all the cups.
mm, mm.
But yeah, shit. What was
I
the
got
other one?
you.
I was
Yeah, it
gonna
was
talk about?
I mean I didn't you say you actually ordered Subway when you watched it for the first
Oh yeah,
time?
I got me a BLT and a cold cut combo. I eat 3 a day to help keep me strong.
Yeah,
Talk about a hole in one.
Can I have one of those? Coming right up. I love that.
but
I
I
love
saw
sub.
yeah, but I didn't. I know I didn't have a Subway when I was eating when I was watching it because I watched it yesterday morning, and I don't even think Subway was open at that time. So I did. I was busy during the day, right? I
I didn't
had
have
other
one
things.
either. Plus, I don't really like Subway that much anymore. But also I could have
Jersey
sworn
Mike's.
that Adam Sandler directed most of his stuff, but I guess he didn't. I guess he's only directed like one short film. I thought Adam Sandler directed a lot of his stuff, but because I was looking up all the comedies. Well, I was looking up all of his movies that I've seen, and he hasn't directed a single one. Could have sworn that he directed more of them, but guess not.
Yeah,
I could have sworn he directed Grown Ups, but I guess he didn't.
I don't think so.
Now that's another guilty pleasure of mine that I have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, I will. Fun
The
fact:
sequel is oh
Grown Ups was supposed to happen in the early like late 90s, early 2000s, because he wrote it for obviously himself, David Spade, Chris Rock, and it was supposed to be Chris Farley was the fourth guy, but when he died, he's like, I'm not gonna do it. But then when he became friends with Kevin James, then he rewrote the part for him and then did the movie.
nice. The sequel terrible, but like legit terrible. I just don't have any fun with that. But I wouldn't mind a third one depending on just if they get it right.
Mm, yeah.
I think that's. You got any?
I'm trying to think on what would you guys say is some of your favorite comedies? Period. Like not just Adam Sandler or Happy Madison, just comedies. Period.
Airplane is up there.
Nutty Professor
Uh,
2.
um, I mean, Back to the Future kind of counts as a comedy, so I'd say that
Wayne's
too.
World.
Um,
I love Wayne's World.
Ghostbusters.
Yep.
I mean, speaking of with what's coming out soon, but the first Naked Gun, that was pretty good. I need to watch Police Squad. I haven't seen Police Squad, but I know
I need
there's
to
only
watch
8
this,
episodes.
and maybe I might watch the second and third one. I've only seen
The
the
second
first
one was
Naked.
okay. I don't think I ever watched the third one.
Dude, I'm so
But I mean, any Mel Brooks movie
dude, I am
with
so
Gene
excited for Naked
Wilder,
Gun.
Spaceballs.
Blazing Saddles, and Young Frankenstein are probably his best, but that's purely because, like, I feel like Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder, that's when he did his best work. Not saying like others were bad. Like I like Robin Hood Men in Tights, and Spaceballs is
Me
fine,
too.
but I think he worked his best with Gene Wilder. What else? I mean, Stalag 17, that's kind of a comedy.
And I gotta say, one of my
Oh, sorry, go on.
you go ahead.
Go on.
one of my favorite more modern comedies. I'm gonna defend Strays.
Nah, I'm not really a fan.
I thought
No.
Strays was hilarious.
Never watched it. And I do like the 2 newest Jumanji movies. I thought those were funny. In terms of newer comedies. Ridiculous, but I didn't. Again, those were like movies I didn't expect to be good, but then they were actually good. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Devin's watching or something, but I'm sure he'll want to mention Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So, which is really hilarious. I'm trying to think here.
I love that one too.
In terms of modern comedies, I do remember I like some of yes, I know John doesn't like Kevin Smith, but I like some of I like his newest ones that he did. Like I like Clerks 3. I like I love the 4:30 movie, you know. I still think that's a funny movie to watch. So yes, I know John doesn't like Kevin Smith.
I mean, Kevin Smith is fine. I think he's just a little overrated, is all.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I can kind of count the Phoenician Scheme as like an artsy kind of comedy, because I mean I remember watching this with Mark and we were just laughing, you know. But that was but I'm trying to think of what else is here. I'll still defend Step Brothers. I still think that movie is hilarious.
I don't think you really need to defend it that much.
Yes,
Most people
I love that one.
nowadays think it's funny, so I don't think you need to defend yourself.
Well, because I mean, a lot of the critics hated it back then.
Yeah, but critics hate comedies for the most part. They always hate comedies, so.
Oh, and Home Alone. We gotta mention Home Alone. Both 1 and 2, actually.
I love I love the first those 2 Home Alone movies I watch pretty much around every year around the Christmas holiday, you know. I remember watching that a lot as a kid. I remember watching them a lot as a kid. In fact, I think I might have. In fact, I think my parents might have took me to see the second one in theaters. I don't know. I was like 3 years old. I was like 3 or 4 years old back then. So
yeah.
And she ain't made anything good since then, except for Home Alone 3, which I am defending the fuck out of that one. I think it's.
I was gonna say what, you don't like Home Sweet Home Alone, where they made the villain sympathetic?
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Another one, Mark's favorite comedy.
No, it's not that they were villains. It's what I hate.
I do love Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day is definitely one of the best Bill Murray comedies of all time.
What are you saying, Zach?
Oh, it's not even that they were villains and they made them sympathetic. It's that they weren't even villains. Like, they weren't actually like these evil people. They're just like they were a regular couple, but for some reason they thought we'd find it funny to see them get all smacked up and shit. And that's what I hated about it.
What else
These
are
aren't
some
the
really
villains.
good comedies?
Shazam, more the villain
counts.
with anything, with how much of an asshole he is.
I would say Shazam counts because that movie was funny as fuck. Dave. I fucking love that. Fucking Dave is so good. It's a nice wholesome comedy movie. Galaxy Quest is brilliant. Even if you're not a Trek fan, like that movie is just so fucking funny.
And I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Clue was pretty funny.
Love Clue.
Clue, that was hilarious.
Shoot 'Em Up is a great action comedy. Like Clive Owen is so funny in that movie.
I'm saving my absolute favorites and the best ones for last.
Okay. I will say the Simpsons movie is one that I went back to a lot as a kid, and then when I went back to it again as an adult, I'm like, damn, I forgot how fucking funny this movie was.
I still think it's funny.
Yeah,
I'm not really into Simpsons
They
that much anymore.
It there.
Yeah, and then The Nice Guys. That, oh my god. Yeah. Honestly, any comedy with Ryan Gosling is usually pretty mint. That dude gets comedy pretty damn well.
I just thought of another one that I thought the first Hangover was pretty funny. You know, I don't know if you guys saw that movie. The first Hangover.
Once when it came out.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Nobody is good. The sequel's coming out this year.
I still need to see the first movie.
It's so ridiculous, but it's so good. I had a lot of fun with it, and like, you know, come on, Saul Goodman being an action star, that's just hilarious by itself. So yeah.
And what else? Zoolander. I thought the first Zoolander was pretty funny.
It's pretty good. Kind of overrated a little bit.
Isn't there more to life than being really ridiculously good looking?
Who wants to have a gasoline fight? Come on now.
And then and then Ben Stiller stops the throwing star just by a look.
Was it El Tigre or was it?
What was it? Shit.
Because I know there was Blue Steel, there was El Tigre, and then
Magnum
there was
Steel. I think was it Magnum?
No, I don't remember what the look was.
Shit, I have to look it now. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to look it up.
Magnum. It was Magnum.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? One more I'll bring up before we start to wrap it up.
I don't know if that's really
Is that really a comedy?
Comedy. It has comedic moments. I wouldn't see it as a comedy, though.
I don't either.
I did love Wonka. I thought that was great.
Yeah. But
I mean, nothing will touch the original, but I thought that was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a great companion piece, but all right, so what is our next review, gentlemen?
Next review is going to be tomorrow. Hey guys, tomorrow it's going to be fantastic.
Say that again.
It's going to be fantastic.
Dang. That's all we're going to say.
That's all we're going to say about that. And then should we announce next weekend's reviews, or should we wait?
Sure, why not?
Okay, because
we have a stacked 2 weeks for you guys. So
yep. So next week we're doing another 2 movie reviews. We're doing 2 of them. We're going to be reviewing the Naked Gun reboot, and that's going to be hosted by Zach. And then the other one we're doing would be Bad Guys 2, and that'll be hosted by me.
Yeah, which it looks fucking great. Like, it has some silly points in the trailer, but looks like a good time. So, can't wait for all those.
I know.
I haven't seen the first one, but
I recommend it. I recommend it. It has a good cast and it works.
Yeah,
I think you'd like it.
Give it a roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys for joining us on this rather quicker discussion. But thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yep. And remember, it's my tour. You do as I say. All right. See y'all next time, fellas. You're welcome, America.